Peace, love, and black empowerment. You are tuned into the Mile High News Channel, Denver's first station for news and entertainment that is for us and by us. With your hosts, Noble Turner, Sharice Aline, Chairman SEKU, and Jesse Paris. Welcome. Peace, love, and black empowerment. Welcome back to Mile High News, family. Once again, and as always, I want to give thanks to our people who give us the support on our Facebook and our YouTube. You guys continue to support. We're going to continue bringing you the truth, the news for here for Denver, Colorado, and beyond. Tonight we have our sister circle. We had a great time last time they were here, so we're going to bring them back on in to give us some more knowledge. So first up, I want to introduce again my wife, and her name is Monique Turner, and she's going to be giving you a breakdown on the mental health in our community and how it affects us. So Monique.
Hello, and thank you to my husband for bringing me on again and with these lovely sisters here. So I am not a psychiatrist, a psychologist, but I really want to talk about our mental state as far as black women. A lot of black women, we have different things that take us outside of ourselves. So we have our families, and then we have our jobs, and just the people we engage with, our family and things like that. And sometimes it can be devastating to our mental. Black people, period, don't heal from a lot of things that maybe happened in their past, or maybe things that have, been happening even now in your life. And so I just want to address that. I want to first put myself out there if there is anyone who wants to talk or just discuss different things, because I realize that a lot of black people don't have access to psychiatrists, or some people don't even have anyone to talk to. And so I remember, I'll say a couple of years back, I went through a really tough time losing my grandma. And so there was times where I felt like I didn't have anyone to talk to. And not only that, just even in your relationship, my husband is my best friend. We do talk about everything, but sometimes you just want a sister that you can talk to, you can just share ideas with, or just what you're going through, and not always someone who's going to judge you, or someone who's going to, you don't always want an opinion. Sometimes you really just need someone who will listen. I'm putting myself out there. My email address, you can go to the first one I gave you in the other sister circle, or Monique Thurman 40@yahoo.com. I am there if you just want someone to talk to. Drop your number in there, drop a question in there.
Or you can post on the Mile High News page.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, reach out to someone. I mean, if you're going through a really hard time and you just feel like you don't know me, so maybe you don't want to talk to me, it is okay to reach out to someone. Now, I will say, I'm not ashamed to say I did get help for some stuff I was going through about 3 years back. Unfortunately, it was through my job, and they weren't able to provide me with someone. Not saying you have to have someone who looks like you, but I will say that having someone who looks like you and can relate to you does make a big difference. I actually had the lady tell me that some of my problems were too big for her. She couldn't relate to it. And so I'm not negating that there aren't other races that can help you. That wasn't my situation, but I will say that there are a lot of sisters around you who, you can reach out to. You just sometimes want someone that's not going to go back and gossip about you or tell what you told them. So sisters, if there is someone who comes to you and they do need help, don't go gossip about them to other people. If they share something with you, don't go share that information. That's their information to give to someone. And that's what makes it so hard for people to talk to people sometimes. And that goes for family members, sisters. Sometimes you share information and it gets back to you, or someone spreads it. And so just be, careful with that information, with people's information, because some people, you don't know what people are going through. Some people are really hurting, and especially during the holidays right now, even if you don't celebrate Christmas, you just have memories of your grandma or your family members. And so sometimes you want to reach out to people, and I'm opening myself up for that. And also, let me just say real quick, definitely, like they brought up before, ADOS, reparations, is important. Look into it. I'm a big believer in it. And so, yeah.
All right, that's right, definitely, family. We have to really concentrate on our mental health, especially in our community. You know, if you guys ever get a chance to check out Joy DeGroy, she's on YouTube, and she's wrote a couple of books too on post-traumatic slave syndrome. That's it's real. You know what I'm saying? Slavery has actually attached itself to our genetical makeup. So you know, we need help. We need help doing that. So definitely, thank you. Monique.
You're welcome, husband.
All right. So next up, we have Sister Barbara, and she's going to be letting us know about the light of Black people. Sister Barbara.
Hotep. I'm so happy to be back here again this evening. Thank you. My brother, Noble, and my sister. Yes. Noble wife, but your own person, okay? Yeah. I want to thank you, sister, for reaching out to other sisters and saying, listen, call me or email me. And I really like your compassion.
Thank you.
Yes. This topic is really dear to my heart. It's about the light of Black people. We are Black. Is we Black? Let me hear you say, Ashe something.
Ashe.
We're glad we be Black.
Right.
For real. So, and because we are who we are, and we are Black people who have a light that it's impossible to dim. We stretch and expand the corridors of so many levels of reality in this country because our light is our creativity. And we all know our creativity is the melanin in our skin. And that's why, hey, if folks could take the melanin out, they would, but y'all beware, because people are snatching bodies, they snatching kids, and they're taking out organs. And that ain't right. And you know the rationale behind that, I don't want to get off the subject, but it's because, Black people got such endurance and survival skills that are so strong. Well, hey, we're going to be strong until our own, really. You know, we are not a shopping center for other folks to go and take our organs or snatch our people. It is unethical, it is inappropriate, it is not right. I mean, it's wrong is wrong. As my grandma used to say, right is right, wrong is wrong. But the light I want to talk about is this time there is a light. We're in the solstice. The solstice was a couple days ago. And the light is the light that transmits within us. Now, I talk about, we're in the time of Kwanzaa. We have the light of our 7 candles. And each night there is a significance to the lighted candle. And we call that, the first one is Umoja, which means unity. So our light is that we as Black people, we must consciously choose to be in unity with each other because our light is helping to light other folks' light. One light can strike another, and it's like a spark that expands out into the ethers and into the communities. And so we look at Marcus Garvey, and our colors are red, black, and green. But Marcus Garvey also had the light of the yellow. And the yellow is like the sun, and the sun is radiant. And our sun god is Ra from Egypt. So we have this light that shines ever so brightly. And sometimes folks don't understand that the light becomes dim if we have to deal with all the stresses in society. But you know what? We may fall down for a day, and even I've had opportunities to fall down for a day and waddle in my own depression or in my own sadness. But I can't stay there. And so our light will pick us up and propel us to get into our space of our creative source. Now, I'm Barbara Event, and I'm also known as R3, and by various people. It is an endearing nickname that I have acquired this year, and it actually means righteous, revolutionary, reverend. So some things I cannot do, I will not do, because, righteousness is about ethics and morality and justice. And we have to speak out for the injustices because we are the justice leaders in this country. We are. We've always been. And so I'm grateful for this time of the year that so much light is apparent. And I love this light that we are creating here in the Mile High City. Yes. Hey, 1 mile up. We're gonna have some other stuff we said besides what we say about the light of Denver, the Mile High income, and and hey, we all high up here, right? I mean, no, not that, but it's 5280.
A lot of us are.
Our altitude. A lot of folks making money. Okay, we need more black people in the game. Shoot, they took out some respectable jobs. But at any rate, I'm delighted to be here, and I'm excited about this period and this time. And thank you again for letting me be a part of this wonderful opportunity to share.
Definitely. Thank you, Sister Barbara. And just to touch on that a little bit, I asked a question a while ago, why are people racist against us and why do people hate us? I always thought it was just because of our skin color, and it's not. Like Sister Barbara said, there is a light within us that they see, and some of them want. Some of them want that light, and if they can't get it, they want to put it out. So, definitely we got to be mindful for that. So thank you, Sister Barbara. Next up, we have a new sister to the Sister Circle, Sister Danielle, and she's going to be talking to us about literacy in the Black community. Sister Danielle.
Thank you, Brother Noble, and I'm happy to be here, a part of the Mile High News. I have to follow up behind Sister Monique and Sister Barbara, and they have talked about life, light, and I get to talk about literacy. My name is Danielle Clemens. I'm new to Mile High News, but I am not a stranger to Denver, Colorado. For some of you that may be watching, you'd be like, didn't think she did any social media stuff. But I'm here now. I'm a career educator, born and raised, not born here, but was raised here in Park Hill. But when you've been here in Denver since you were 3, what else can you say?
That's it.
I'm from here. Thank you. But I'm talking about literacy. I could very easily, this is an exhaustive topic that has a lot of different layers, but I want to just quickly talk about a couple of things. First, about the correlation between literacy and recidivism rates, how your children are chosen in pipeline by the age of 8, and what you can do to assist in literacy. The first point is about literacy. We have a system that is systematically designed. When you have standardized testing, you may ask yourself if you have a 3rd grader, which is approximately 8 years old, everyone else tests in April, but your child is testing in March. Systematically, they have used reading testing data to prepare jails because it is a correlation between literacy and recidivism. The majority of people that are incarcerated cannot read above a 3rd grade level. So they test children, and if your child is not reading at a 3rd grade level, they use those projections to start building prison beds. They did that with CCAP, they've done that with CMAS, and these tests for 3rd graders have not changed. Secondly, you have to recognize that the education system is designed along a pipeline. A very small percentage flows into higher education. Then there is a second tier, which ends up being the working middle class, not the educated middle class, the working middle class, and a large majority fall into the prison pipeline. This is a reality. Longitudinal studies have been done. It is a reality. Now, what I want to talk about to you that are watching, what can you do? You need to make literacy a priority in your household. If you need to, the importance of books, the importance of reading, the importance of letter sounds, the importance of sentence formation, and it starts with you. What is the name of the last book you read? And if it comes to reading the newspaper, you need to read it. Comic books, whatever it is. But most importantly, you need to get your hands on material that people that look like you. Library cards are free. There are reading circles. There is every resource available. If you are looking specifically for African American focused literature, I'm a part of a bookstore company. It's Divine Mile High Books. We're right here in town. We specialize in those titles. If you are looking for a specific book, please contact us. Divine Mile High Books at 303-818-4430. Again, 303-818-4430. We have over 1,500 titles in our collection. We are here locally. We have children's, young adults, and we even take requests. But you have to read with your child. Take time out, get off of Facebook, social media, television, read to your child, and even more so, have your child read to you. Because if you don't make your child's reading a priority, believe me, no one else will. And thank you for this time and opportunity to talk about literacy.
Thank you, Sister Danielle. Definitely. Literacy and comprehension is definitely a problem in our communities. The school to prison pipeline, people don't believe in it, and it is definitely real. You know what I'm saying? If your kid is not achieving or performing to a certain level, they have a level that they want them to achieve and perform at, and it's not nothing that you want any part of. So definitely thank y'all, and this is our sister circle. So we try to bring them in at least once or twice a month. And, we're always glad when the sisters come and they come and, break us off some of that real knowledge from the I don't want to say the other side, but another way of thinking, So thank y'all. We'll be back with the Mile High Newsers. Right back. All right, fam, welcome back. Yeah, our sisters went hard tonight. Well, every time they come, but yes, that's what we love as sisters. We're gonna definitely bring them back again, and I just want to touch on 2020. It's gonna be a really important time coming up next year, man. I thought that 2019 would be, the 400-year marker to where everybody get it together and we do it, but it wasn't. But what it was more people coming into knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So in 2020, we need to bring that knowledge to fruition. We need to really focus on the major parts, and we need to really focus on what's going on with us, Definitely we got some major events coming up. Yeah, we have some major events coming up in 2020. And, 2020 is going to be it should be about action, Like I told you guys a couple of episodes ago, we're trying to build a community. And, we've already got the land. Well, not already got, we're in the process of trying to obtain it. But that's what I want for 2020 for our people. I want us to push forward, and everybody can say stop all this talking and do something, but one person can't do it. 2020 is going to be about unity. 2020 is going to be about getting stuff done, but getting it done together. Definitely make sure y'all stay tuned in for next week. I have a major announcement I want to make, and we're going to put some stuff to light of what we're doing, and I'm going to show you guys firsthand what I'm doing. Definitely, make sure you guys stay tuned in for that. And next up, we have our brother Sharif. He's going to be talking about Christmas.
That's right.
Brother Sharif.
Good old Christmas. You know, and if you break the word Christmas down, it really stands for Christ's Mass. And it was supposed to be a time where people came together in masses to like emulate the life of Christ, which was, you know, forgiving, healing, giving to people, you know, so on and so forth. But, you know, through the test of time, the holiday man got infiltrated, you know, by pagans. And these pagans, man, existed before Christ was even born. Because if you go back to the Old Testament of Jeremiah 10, it talks about Fame is the practices of people who go into the forest, cut down a tree, deck it with gold and silver, and they would burn the tree and dance butt naked around the tree. This is what the pagans used to do. So in the Bible, before Christ, it told you to stay away from these pagan traditions. So when the European got Christianity from the African, they brought their pagan rituals into Christianity. One of the bases of Christmas was the worship of the solstice turning. And they would have a day called Saturnalia, which is today, the 25th of December, Christmas Day. And this was a ritual that went on in Europe where people had orgies, they drank wine, they ate a lot of food, they watched entertainment, and this was a ritual that went on in Europe before Christ was born. So when Christianity came around, they infiltrated Christianity with their paganism. And it's with us today because if you look, and especially with the black community, we spend a quarter of the income that we make in a year on this time of year, like for our family, for our friends, our children, buying gifts, taking vacations, going out to eat, going to a Nuggets game, going to a Broncos game. It's entertainment, eating food. A lot of people, you know, you be at your little Christmas party. The sister told me last week, she said, in my Christmas party, we can't bring our spouses to the Christmas party. I said, you can't bring your spouse. And I'm like, why is that? Because it's still in that mentality of the Saturnalia. It's like, you know, your little work husband want to have fun with you at the Christmas party without your husband socking him in his mouth. You know, the boss want to play, you know, booty touch with the secretary and chase her. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of mentality we have, and it translates today. So what we've been telling black folks for the last 10 years is don't participate in Christmas. You know, and if you're going to buy your kids gifts and stuff, buy it from black people, make the gift, be, you know, be more artistic in your giving, maybe go out and feed homeless people at this time or try to walk and do things that Christ would have done in this particular time of year. And the whole fallacy of Christ being born December 25th, you know, religious scholars have given it up in the last few years and told you that was a lie. So, you know, and I was coming here tonight, man, and on the radio, the white man was talking about, oh, we just got a report that Santa just crossed over Europe and he's coming into the United States so parents get... I'm like, you telling these kids a goddamn lie. I mean, this is your FCC license should be stripped from you because you just told a bold-faced lie on the radio. Let us get on there and lie. Yeah, but this is for, you know, because this is like white supremacy. They all know it's a lie. They all know it's illusion, but they all play into it because they get some type of financial or wicked spiritual benefit from this. And we got to remember, man, this is a lot of wicked spiritual energy going on this time of year. For the brothers and sisters out there that's trying to help people or do for the less fortunate, may God bless you. But for the people that's just out there bathing in the commercialism of this and exploit, a lot of children get exploited around this time of year. From Halloween all the way up into the New Year's, they have rituals where they sacrifice children. And I'm not lying to you, family. This actually happens during this time of year. So, put on your spiritual armor this time of year, man. Don't participate in the foolishness. You got Kwanzaa coming up. Study them principles and try to implement them into your life, or any other kind of holistic African spiritual system. Look towards that this time of year. Like in the Nation of Islam, they would have Ramadan during December and always during December because they wanted people to fast and stay away from the commercialism and all of the consumer and gluttony that goes on this time of year. And if you want to live long and your pockets to be right, do the same. Peace, family.
That's right. Thank you, Brother Sharif. Definitely. We don't try to make this a religious channel and stuff, but we do not believe in that here. So if you're looking for that and this is on Christmas, you're not going to get it here. So this program today is going to be for people who are not celebrating and here want to hear some truth instead of the lies.
Hey, brother, don't get me wrong, brother, but if I hear that Temptation Silent Night or that Donny Hathaway, I'm going to hum along to it. I'm going to hum to it. I'll be walking through the grocery store, I hear it, I'm like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Santa Claus go to the ghetto.
Yeah, that's James Brown. Yeah.
And that's definitely, there's nothing wrong because, we're musical people. And, you know what I'm saying? We're going to make music to any holiday that so they even have Halloween, jams that you jam to on Halloween,
So basically what we saying, if you looking at this right now, you did all your Christmas stuff, don't feel bad. Just investigate what we talking about, and then next year implement some of the stuff that we talking about.
That's right.
And for y'all that's conscious, this is just preaching to the choir.
That's right, definitely. So yes, next up we got our brother Jesse. He's going to be talking MERITORIOUS manumission.
Yes, thank you, Brother Noble. So I want to talk about MERITORIOUS manumission. So in 1710, MERITORIOUS Manumission Act of 1710 was enacted in Virginia, in the state of Virginia. And it was a legal act of freeing a slave for good deeds, as defined by the national public policy, and could be granted to a slave who saved the life of a white master or his property, invented something from which a slave master could make a profit, or snitched on a fellow slave who was planning a slave rebellion or to run away. So you say, what does that have to do with today? This is where the term selling out comes from. Being an Uncle Tom, step it, fetch it, run, tell master everything type Negro. This is where this comes from, and 300 years later, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, are still dealing with sellouts. I think we should know how big of an impact this law had on our community and how we are still being affected by it today in 2019 going on 2020. This is one of the many tactics the system of racism and white supremacy uses to create mistrust within the Black community, establishing an individual hierarchy, or invisible hierarchy based on good deeds. For a people without hope or an identity, this is a recipe for disaster. The lingering effects of MERITORIOUS manumission can be found amongst the melanated community to this day. The only difference currently is your good deed can be aligning yourself with an entity or corporation, or being used to reinforce negative and demeaning stereotypes about Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, descendants of slavery. If you take a closer look at how we interact with each other, the Black in Black society, it's usually based on some form of social construct that at the end of the day does nothing for us as a collective. So we have moved away from the collective, and now we're on this individualism, or rugged individualism is the term. Sadly, individual success has taken the place of any type of unified movement. So we keep preaching about unity, and we need a unified movement. But we have to know the obstacles or what is standing in the way of that. And mandatory manumission is just one of many things that is keeping that from happening. So in my opinion, learning our history can go a long way in developing the proper perspective, the viewpoint, and provide a clear understanding of how we got in the situation we are in today. So you say, what does this have to do? We have people like Eddie Murphy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. Eddie Murphy says something disparaging to Bill Cosby. Now, Bill Cosby, we know, is being used as a poster child for pedophilia and this Me Too crap. And they are neglecting the Harvey Weinsteins and the Ed Bucks and the other Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, all of them predators. But they're putting this on Bill Cosby. But Eddie Murphy understands where his bread is buttered. And he's going to get his butter biscuits regardless. And when we talk about butter biscuits and we talk about getting your bread buttered, that is meritorious manumission. So thank you for allowing me to shed light on that Meritorious Manumission Act of 1710.
Brother, basically what you're saying is that mandatory manumission is if you throw or you attack another black person, you get rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
Oprah Winfrey.
Yep, Oprah. It's just a long list of them.
A whole lot of them. It even reaches to the rap game too. So definitely, man, we in building a nation, you have to build it first, and then you have to weed those people out, or else those weeds will eventually come up and choke the whole community. So, that's what we need to have here in these days. If you see them, yeah, there's coons and stuff like that. I don't know if I can say that. We're going to get banned for saying it. But, they're still our people. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to us just to let them go. Eventually they'll see the light, or if not, hey, just like the brother Stephon Clark. I was talking about this earlier. This brother said he hated, black women and was discouraging them, and he ended up getting killed in his grandmama's backyard for losing his key and trying to go through his grandmama's backyard by the same police who he loved and glorified. It just doesn't make any sense. They've never been with us, and they're never going to be with us. There's some who might be, but the majority of them are not. So next up, we got our brother SEKU, and he's just going to give you some of that SEKU realness he brings every week. Brother SEKU.
SEKU's corner.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. First of all, we want to send out seasoned greetings to all of us. This is really one of the most stressful times for the oppressed, because in the process, our participation in these holidays are more spiritual than they are material, because we just ain't got it like that. See? And so folks who have it like that, and those precious resources that could be shared in a more effective way, are left in a quandary, because they damned if they do and they damned if they don't. See, a lot of us think that because you got some money, you have eliminated a lot of problems. And the truth is, in America, the more money you got, the more problems you got, and more severe they are. Okay? And so when you talk about folks who have disposable income where, they got money above and beyond their rent, they have money above and beyond the tuition bill for college for the kids, they can pretty much eat whatever they want to eat and spend their money wherever they want to go. They have the opportunity of having private, individual transportation, where in the household you have maybe 3 people and there's 6 cars parked out front. Okay? And all of them carry a serious price tag, because you got to do the insurance on the car, you got to do the maintenance on the car, and you got to do the gas on the car. And by the time you drive the car off the lot, it's already depreciated by $5,000 if it's brand new. So when we go and make our purchases and things that we do, we must be mindful of one thing. If I go do this, then what? See, if I go over here and get to shopping with this cash, and I run out of cash, and I started charging things up, then what? See, before you do that, because you're getting ready to pay a price for that, and it's going to be stress. See, because as you max out them credit cards, you're in trouble. See, you're in trouble. See, in your fluidity financially, and also your ability to move forward is hindered because you just ain't got it. You just ain't got it. And all the plans you have, this and that and that and this, and the money coming in, and certain people gonna pay you back and all that, that don't happen. It don't happen. So now you stuck on Chuck. See, and you got stress. And see, it's the stress that is killing our families. I mean, folks get to fighting over credit card bills that come 30 days later. And folks ain't telling folks inside the household, hey man, we got all this stuff on the Christmas tree, you know what I'm saying? Mama went and got it, but guess what? She didn't tell daddy nothing about none of this. You know what I'm saying? And everybody gotta go get a second job. So today we think that we're better off today than what we was in slavery. In slavery, we worked hard every day and we didn't get a dime. Not a dime. But the clothes was paid for, the food was paid for, all the basics that they need to keep us in a productive labor force was taken care of. All right. Today, at the end of the check that we get, within 72 hours, we are broke. And then, because we use them credit cards, we are in debt. So before in slavery, we were broke. Now today, we broke and in debt. We owe what we ain't even got. And they're talking about where the progress at. Where the progress at? You got to look at what you be doing, man. See, because they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. They're going to do that because that's who they are. But now, you ain't got to participate in your own whooping, boy. You got to give yourself a break. You got to give yourself a break. So, look, I'm telling you, at the end of Christmas, right, save all your receipts. Right? Just in case you change your mind, take that shit back up in there, get your money back. You know what I'm saying? And now you got peace. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of the month. So at least you know when New Year's comes, Jack, you can afford, you know what I'm saying, to pay the rent, Jack. You know what I'm saying? Instead of hiding out in the hotel trying to get an extra day, because you don't know or how you figure out if I'm going to be able to go up in my crib and there ain't going to be a eviction notice on there because I know I ain't going to get it. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm so deep in debt, it's going to take me 3 months to get out of that. All right? And 3 months leads you to eviction, Jack. You know what I'm saying? And in the Mile High City, if you get evicted, you're guaranteed one thing.
But let me tell you.
You're going to be outside. You can't even go get another spot because that's going to be on the record. It ain't nobody renting or buying or they ain't going to even sell it to you because you wouldn't pay the bill on time. You know what I'm saying? And there's a word for today for slavery. 21st century is called New Jack Pimpin'. And you're the biggest hoe in America.
Brother, I just wanted to add on to something that you said that was deep. Because I ran into a young lady today and she been struggling to pay her rent. And I asked her, I said, you get this situation taken care of? She's like, nah, not really, but I'm just going to deal with it after Christmas because my kids had to have a Christmas. So that Christmas thing is so strong on our people that, like, some of us is willing to risk being evicted just so our kids can have this artificial fantasy of a Santa Claus and all of this, you know.
Kids get those toys or whatever they want.
And then break them in the next day.
2 or 3 weeks later, they don't give a damn.
Hours. 2 or 3 hours.
But all your hard work and labor is being given to this cracker Santa that's supposed to be jumping down a chimney.
You ain't got no chimney.
No, they don't even let you burn wood no more in Colorado. So what you need a chimney for, fool? You know what I'm saying? The kids can figure out certain things. It's like, come on, man. You know, come on. So when it's all said and done, listen. Think before you act. because you might move yourself in a position of action that's going to cause you some serious consequences. See? And so we got to live not just for the moment, we got to live for the here and the now. That means down the road when they get to putting that dirt on you, you better have somebody got a shovel. Otherwise, they're going to burn the body and put it on the side of the road, and then public works going to come in and sweep that on down the road.
That's right, definitely. Thank y'all for joining us. We will be back next week. We're here every Wednesdays. I had a question. People ask me, what day do you come on? We're on Wednesdays at 8 Mountain Time. So thank y'all for joining us. We will have our correspondence coming in next week. Peace.